Released in early 1991 and published by Jaleco, Fortified Zone is a maze-exploring top-down action game that features full two-player co-op support over a link cable. Remember those top-down stages in Super C and other classic Contra titles, and how they were basically the worst parts of those games? Well, Fortified Zone essentially makes an entire game out of this, but having two-player support allows each player to divide and conquer, which is actually pretty cool, especially for a Gameboy game. In fact, it's downright impressive and something that only can happen when each player has their own screen. There are two playable characters, a hulky dude and an anime babe, but each have slightly different movesets. Rambo can actually hold two different weapons, a straightforward gun but also use a limited spread shot, while Soldier Barbie moves faster and can jump over hazards. The select button displays the map to provide much needed direction and actually has some slight Zelda-ness going on. For example, sometimes you need to kill every enemy in the room before the door opens. This is where splitting up could prove advantageous since one player can activate a switch in another room to clear a path for the second player. All things considered, each map is also pretty big, so I'm not sure how the original Game Boy is able to handle all this over a link cable. It's very impressive. Sure, at times the frame rate's gonna stutter, but having a second player taking out baddies on the other side of the map and then having the ability to meet up in the middle is a mind-blowing experience for the original Game Boy. There are a few annoyances that do not hold up super well today, like if your partner dies there's no way to revive them, or that movement is restricted to the four main directions. And sometimes you'll immediately walk into an enemy as you enter a room without any warning. And enemies also annoyingly respawn each time you enter a room. But I gotta say, if you can find a dedicated partner, the two-player link cable mode in Fortified Zone is a bit of a sleeper hit. It's only 4 stages long and there's no continue option. But partnering with a friend and figuring out the best path to take to navigate each maze becomes fun once you become accustomed to the slight jank and rough edges. Something like this is only possible when each player has their own screen. It just wouldn't be the same sharing a screen when playing on a console. A direct sequel was released a year later in Japan that also featured a two-player link cable mode, so perhaps I'll cover that one in a future episode of my Enable the Link Cable series. But in the meantime, what do you think? Did you ever play Fortified Zone? Are you a fan of Jaleco games? And have you ever wondered what would happen if you mix Zelda with classic Metal Gear? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this Game Boy link cable coverage, you might want to check out my Game Boy Advance Single-Pak link playlist where I covered every game in the GBA library that supports this underappreciated multiplayer feature that only requires one copy of the game. Links will be in the description. Until next time, thank you for watching and game on.